Hey YouTube, last week of the season, we're going to do some top Ultra League teams, but like I did this morning, I'm going to go over Ultra League teams that should work for this season, but also some of them will not have any relevance for next season because they're just one or multiple Pokemon got nerfed. So we are going to go over with a team, I'm showcasing a team, how you can change it for next season if you want to just run that as well. For the Great League shift is substantial. There's like 15 to 20 of the top Pokemon that got like nerfed into oblivion that they're like unusable. It's not as bad in the Ultra League. Yes, you're going to see Tapu Fini goes down a bit because Surf got nerfed. Poliwrath's going to go down because Counter got nerfed. Pidgeot's going to go down because Wing Attack got nerfed. So yes, there's some of these are going to be gone. And you're going to have other people like Licky with Rollout coming up. I'm going to showcase Licky right away because I've already used it. And then Clefable Wind is up. But like Feraligatr's still there. Registeel, even though it got nerfed, is still there. Giratina didn't get nerfed and it's still there. Right? Steelix, Mandibuzz. So the Ultra League meta is not as hit as hard as the Great League is. So a lot of these teams, some of them you can just still use. Some of them will need some modification. So here's one that needs slight modification, but it's a pretty easy modification to use. So started with Zapdos, Poliwrath, Licky. So when I use this team, this is my team. So Zapdos, I always love using Shadow Zapdos because I think it was very strong in this meta once Poliwrath, and you have Verizon and Cobalion everywhere. So I think it was just a very strong Pokemon. Poliwrath is your safe swap, so you're going to have problems with a couple things. You're going to have problems with like ground type Pokemon. So like your ground steals like Steelix and stuff like that. So Poliwrath is dealing with that. And then Giratina, you can only throw Drill Pecks. So that is where Licky came in. I used it with Lick and Shadow Ball. Now Body Slam did get nerfed, but Rollout got buffed. So now with the Rollout doing more damage and so fast charging, Licky has risen to the top. So could you run this team? You can just switch in Pangoro or Machamp for Poliwrath. What made Poliwrath so strong is that it was a good safe swap in this meta because you can just like Icy Wind and lower their attack, and it has answers for Giratina. You can run something like, you either run Pangoro that just has Night Slash already to deal with Giratina and Crest, or you can run something like Payback on Machamp, and then you just have that counter user there too. So you have some options just to replace Poliwrath with just the two main fighters that are going to be here everywhere. RIP this team. So I put this out. I hit Legend this season for the 17th time in 18 seasons. There's two teams that got me there. The one Legend team in Fossil Cup got me from like 2700 to Legend. But what 2700 to Legend. Well, what got me from 2300 to 2700 was this team. Pidgeot Registeel Annihilate. And this team was so strong for me. You can go check out that video if you want. Everything got nerfed. Wing Attack on Pidgeot got nerfed. Zap Cannon on Registeel got nerfed. Counter on Annihilate got nerfed. Registeel, still very useful. I went over that if you want to look at my Ultra League top meta Pokemon for 2 days ago. I talk about how Registeel will still be strong because it still has Zap Cannon and Focus Blast still hurt. Lock On still super fast charging. It's still got insane bulk. So it's not going anywhere despite them nerfing Zap Cannon, lowering the attack. Pidgeot, unfortunately, Wing Attack's so bad now, the recommended moveset is Gust. And the problem with Pidgeot is if you use Gust, you can't use it the same way you use it here. What made Wing Attack Pidgeot so strong and why I said it was the #1 flyer in the Ultra League is because it is so fast charging and you have two killer charge moves. You have a Feather Dance, which lowers your opponent's attack times 2, or you have a Brave Bird that you can like nuke and bail into what are two good safe swaps here. So being able to get to the charge move so fast was very, very important for Pidgeot to be strong. Gust is a super hard hitting move, but it is slow on the charge. So you're not getting to those Feather Dance and Brave Birds as quick. And it's a 4-turn move too, so that makes it even worse. So it's just not going to be as strong of a play. I think Talonflame or Mandibuzz are now your go-to flyers. So could you replace Pidgeot with Talonflame or Mandibuzz on this team? Mandibuzz will be a little trickier because if you want to just replace Annihilate, like I said in the previous team, you can just replace your fighters with Pangoro and Machamp. I think that's going to probably be the fallback for most people, is just replace your Annihilates and you're polyrassing them with those two fighters. So could you just do that? Yeah, again, both of them could have the covers that you need in this meta, but then you can't run Mandibuzz, you can't run ABA. It'd be pretty tough to run ABA like Machamp and Mandibuzz both weak to Fairy. So you would probably have to run Talonflame, Registeel, Machamp, something like that, to modify this team. Tapu Fini, Reggie, and Giratina. These were 3 of the top 4 ranked Pokemon last season. The only other one was Feraligatr, and Feraligatr's still top, so replace Tapu Fini with Feraligatr, and that's basically how I would run this team. Surf is getting nerfed. Feraligatr is the best safe swap in this meta. Feraligatr is one of the best Pokemon in this meta, so just replace Tapu Fini with Feraligatr. Still have Registeel and Giratina, same sort of thing. Like, Giratina, nothing got nerfed here. Claw, Sneak, and Dragon Claw are all the same. I always do that. Sorry, if you're new to these videos, you're like, what are you talking about? Whenever I see Shadow Claw, I always call it Claw. I don't call it Shadow Claw, and then I specify Dragon Claw. So anytime you hear me say Claw, I'm usually referring to Shadow Claw, and then I'll specify like Dragon Claw and stuff like that. So I don't know why I do that. It's kind of weird. But Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, Dragon Claw, none of them got nerfed. Giratina still has the bulk. Yes, there may be a little more fairies, but the spamminess and bulk is still there. So you are fine to run Giratina in the Ultra League. Then we have, this one was a Home Slice Henry showcase that a viewer submitted that they used. Virizion, Ampharos, Tapu Koko. It was double electric. I started seeing a lot of Tapu Kokos in the ending, which are kind of tricky to deal with because they've got that half fairy typing. So, but Ampharos is going to be better, right? Because Brutal Swing got buffed, in my opinion. Yes, it's less damage, but it's quicker to get to. And if you're running a Shadow Ampharos with the Volt switches and getting to those Brutal Swings pretty quick, this one was running Focus Blast. You can run Thunder Punch, or if you have Brutal Swing as more of a bait noob now, because it's only a 35 energy move, maybe you can run Focus Blast and catch some steals off guard. So I think Ampharos is going to be very strong. The only problem with running Focus Blast, Brutal Swing is that you have no answers to fairies, which again, you could see a little more of, so maybe you're safer with Thunder Punch. I think Ampharos is going to be a really good safe swap in the Ultra League. That is just my guess. And then Virizion on the lead, nothing's been nerfed there. That's why, like, when Niantic, I said this in my video maybe this morning or the other day. When Niantic makes changes to the movesets, they are not looking at Ultra League and Master League. They are looking at the Great League meta and what is being used probably in the Pokemon Play Championships. And then they set their movesets based on those Pokemon, the nerfs and buffs. They do not look at Ultra League and Master League. So whatever they do, they're doing for Great League. And then whatever residual effects happen in Ultra League or Master League, they just live with it because they know that Great League is their bread and butter, right? So that's why you're not going to see as many Pokemon get nerfed in the Ultra League because they're not like attacking Pokemon. They're not attacking Giratina in the Ultra League. Cresselia is in the Ultra League. They went after Future Sight, which Cresselia uses, but Moonblast is the go-to in Ultra League because of all the like Giratinas and Dragons and Darks and stuff like that, right? So Cress isn't getting anything nerfed. Typhlosion isn't getting anything nerfed. Feraligatr isn't getting anything nerfed. So this team theoretically still works. Now, just because I mentioned this again in my video this morning, just because moves did not get nerfed doesn't mean that the team will still work in a new meta, right? I prefaced that this morning saying like the Great League meta is going to change completely. So teams that didn't get nerfed may not work next season. I think in the Ultra League, there's going to be enough carryover that most of these teams that aren't nerfed will still work. And what I mean by that is you're just going to have more Annihilape's gone, Poliwrath's gone, probably replaced with Pangoro and Machamp. A little less counter users, Defense Deoxys, stuff like that. But Giratina, Cresselia, Feraligatr, Talonflame, like Virizion, Cobalion, Registeel, these Pokemon are not going anywhere. And so this team like this that can kind of deal with everything that I just mentioned, that's why it works. Because the Ultra League is not going to change enough. So I think something like this team will be able to be carried forward next season. And the last one, exactly almost the same thing, right? You have Ampharos as your save swap. This one with Thunder Punch or Feraligatr. Feraligatr and Ampharos both great for to deal with as to be used as save swaps. Talonflame in the lead. Talonflame is now, in my opinion, probably the best flyer. Mandibuzz may be up there. It's going to be Mandibuzz or Talonflame as your best flyers in the Ultra League now. But this one is double weak to electric, Talonflame Feraligatr. So just be, if you're seeing a lot of electric, there's not a ton of electrics. There's Ampharos and Tapu Koko and Koko. And then those are some Magnezone, but very, very, very few. So I think you should be okay to get away with weak to double electric in here. But again, yeah, none of these Pokemon are being nerfed. All should be still pretty strong. If anything, Ampharos gets buffed with, Ampharos is going to get buffed with Brutal Swing. So those are potential teams, and if you're thinking about next season, how you can use them or slightly modify them. And again, if you watched my video this morning, I did this for Great League, and some of the teams I'm just like, you can't modify. You just need to scrap. Like there was like a Gligar Lantern team. And it's like, no, Gligar got double nerfed and Lantern got nerfed. You can't just like, if you're replacing two Pokemon, you might as well just redo the whole team. And same thing with like the Swampert Skarmory core. Skarmory got nerfed into the ground. So Skarmory's gone. And then that Swampert core, Mudshot got nerfed. So it's like, it's a lot trickier in the Great League to just like replace one Pokemon and use the same team. But here it's 2-3 Pokemon are probably still going to be okay. You may need to replace one, but for the most part, you can probably just run the same team. So a little less play, a little less sort of jumping around needed in the Ultra League. I'm still excited to try some of these Pokemon. Let's open this up and see what I want to still try. Let's grab this, make it a little bit bigger. Like I will try Clefable. Like, so what am I going to try? Obviously Pangoro, Machamp. Everyone kind of knows how strong they're going to be. I'll probably try Clefable. I have a good XL Clefable, so that's fine. Drapion as a safe swap. I kind of mentioned this in the Great League. I think Drapion is going to be like a really, really good safe swap, and I think it's going to be one of the top Ultra League safe swaps. But again, you're getting into a lot of again, Dust Noir is going to be kind of interesting. Well, this will be one I have to test out to see how much of that buff Astonish actually makes these Pokemon, how much stronger it makes them. But then you got like Steelix, Manbuzz, Virizion, Galarian Weezing, Steelix, Aurorus, Regirock, like Guzzlord, Talonflame. These are all the same Pokemon from the Ultra League. Gastrodon, I highly doubt I build it. I doubt that I build a Gastrodon up for Ultra League. I probably just still run with Swampert, quite honestly. XL Miltank, again, I went over in my video 2 days ago on the Ultra League meta. Licky's at number 5. And Miltank is just a poor man's Licky. And yeah, there's your Tapu Fini that's gone down a bit. Not again, some of these have gone down, but they're not gone, right? Tapu Fini down to 39 is not bad. Poliwrath, 40, even with the counter user, 41, not bad. Swampert, 48, not bad. Like there's a bunch of Pokemon that got nerfed that are still in the top 50 ranked right now in the Ultra League, and I think that just kind of like shows like the limitation of Ultra League. Kanto Ninetales, 56, 57. I do not like that in the Ultra League. Yeah, that's basically it. We will see how it goes. Anyways, those are the teams. League turnover today, I believe. It better be today. That's when the video is going up. Today at 4 p.m. And then there'll be a week of grinding Great League, Ultra League, Master League. So send me some teams for submission for me to showcase, because I have not played since I hit Legend. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.